Um, all right, my name is Shelby Hayes. 16 years old, almost gonna turn 17. I'm excited. Um, the last 3 years of my life have been an emotional roller coaster. And I know that there's other girls in this world that are probably going through the same things I have. But I thought that by making these videos and posting them and showing you that there's other people out there that go through the same things, maybe I could make a difference in your life. Um, it's a typical story. Starts with a boy, ends with none. Um, I went down a road that took me to bad places. I met bad people. I'm here to say that I'm drug free. I have smoked weed, and again, in our lifetime, who hasn't? Um, but for who I was dating and the people I was around, that was the minimal, you know? I mean, I'm very proud of staying away from the stuff that I was surrounded with. Um, the boy's name is going to be confidential, you know? Court stuff. It's a real big mess. But just going to call him the boy. He doesn't really need a name because there's a lot of him, you know? Um, met him when I was 13 years old. Uh, he made me feel stuff I could never thought I'd feel. My parents got a divorce when I was really young. Really bad divorce. My dad abused my mom. Don't get me wrong, I've had a great life. I have a great family. My dad's amazing. My mom's amazing. My whole family has treated me really good. Um, but so I met this boy, and he put me on a pedestal. He was, you know, everything that I looked for, everything that I thought I could never had. He would have. He was older, more mature, extremely good looking, in my personal opinion. But and he loved me. He loved me from the first day he met me. And I'm not going to sit here today and tell you that he didn't. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the boy that is doing the same stuff to you doesn't love you, because I'm not going to sit here and judge you. Because as someone who was in this experience, it was a worst feeling, like you were lonely, like no one truly understood what you were going through. And he just put me on a pedestal. He treated me like nobody else had before. Like I didn't have to keep fighting for someone. He fought for me. Don't get me wrong, there's our ups and downs. I mean, for one, he was bipolar. Never a good story for a 13-year-old girl. Two, he was older. I started off the relationship very innocent and hadn't done a lot of things, and he he didn't necessarily force me to do these things. And I'm not saying that the guy that you're with is forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. But I know that a part of me felt like to be with him, I had to. That it was the only way for me to keep him happy sometimes. And I mean, I'm here to say that's not true. There's people out there that will love you no matter what you do for them. Um, anyways, the first, I would say 6 months of our relationship were good. They were new. It's how a relationship should be. Always with each other, experimenting, just enjoying every minute of it. And then, I don't know, one day things just got different. He got different. And in the beginning of our relationship, I knew that he had smoked weed. I knew that he occasionally did drugs. But I didn't know the true story behind it. You know, he kind of kept it distant from me. I wasn't really allowed to know about it. I wasn't really allowed to ask. Asking would turn into a whole nother story. And that's where things pretty much started, is I started getting curious. So what was going on behind closed doors? What was going on when you weren't with me, you know? And I know that that's a constant struggle for girls in my situation. They keep things from you. You feel like there's a whole nother life they're living without you, and you strive to be a part of the whole picture. And that's where I was at. So, I mean, the more questions I started to ask, the angrier he got with me, and it started to become something I never expected. I never expected someone who loved me so much to be so hateful towards me. And in my case, probably wasn't as bad as half of yours out there, or maybe it's worse. But there's signs that I should have followed, that I should have took to get out of it, and I didn't. And I ended up in a really bad place with really bad people and making really bad decisions. And I have everything in my life that I could ever want. And maybe that's not you. Maybe that you have struggles in your life. Maybe you have people in your life that aren't there for you. And if so, I'm sorry, because I would have never have got through any of this without my family and friends. So, I mean, there's other things you could do. There's people you can talk to. I mean, don't be afraid to share your story, because 3 years of being afraid is what it got me. So back to what I was saying, he started becoming really abusive. I mean, I really didn't notice it, because every time something went wrong, he would cry. He would tell me he loved me. Every time something that he never wanted to happen, I just stopped believing that it was happening. I stopped believing that it was bad. It was a natural thing for him to be doing. He couldn't control it. And I forced myself to believe that. And it's a lie. It's a lie that got me caught up in more lies. And I hope to God that if you're just now starting out and you're just starting to see those signs, pay attention to them. Look closely to them, because those signs they'll get you so much farther away and in such a better place. These guys that they sit and they say they love you, look at them and really decide, do they love you, or are you an addiction to them? Are you just another addiction? The signs became more consistent. There was pushing. Even sometimes he would spit on me. There was things that, I couldn't get myself to believe that they were actually happening to me, because I always told myself I'd never be this girl who let it happen. And I sat there and I did. I let it happen to me. And I want you to know that you don't have to be that girl. You don't have to be that girl that sits there and lets this boy abuse you, because you're shown no more love. You don't feel like there's anybody else out there that can love you as much. There is probably so many other people in this world that can love you more and treat you better. And I know that letting go is hard, because I've been through 3 years of it. I don't even know if I'm truly letting go now. But I know that by making this video, that I'm out there helping someone. There were days that I would go to leave and he wouldn't let me leave, and he would bang on my car, and one day he actually slapped me in the face, and that was my biggest, that was one of my turning points, one of the points where I finally decided that he wasn't good for me. He used to leave me, like, he would get mad when we were driving or something. He would just leave me somewhere for 30 to 45 minutes. And I knew that if I called my mom, then it was going to be a whole thing. So I sat there for 45 minutes without telling anyone. And there was nothing I could do. There's nothing I felt I could do, because I could have done something. But because I was so afraid of losing him, I didn't do anything. And that was my biggest mistake. And then finally one day, I mean, things went really, really wrong. And I told my mom. I told my mom what happened. I told her that he hurt me. I showed her the bruises. Um, and she helped me. Did I want it? Probably not. Was it just something that I felt in the moment? Probably. Uh, it was sad because the next day I woke up wishing I never did it. But I really hope that when that happens to you, you realize, because it took me 3 years to, and and it didn't hurt anyone but me. Uh, so I finally got help, but somehow he always ended up coming back to me, and maybe it was me. Maybe I made him come back. I don't know, but I know that by taking that step, I got closer and closer to my goal. Maybe it took 30 more after that, but I'm still closer. And that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're too afraid to take that step, at least you're taking it. And so I kept taking them. And even though in between those times we would get back together and the same stuff would happen and his drug abuse got worse, I mean, I know that some of the stuff is probably not as bad as what you guys have seen, but I mean, I'm here to say it's not worth it. It's not worth any of it. You lose a lot of people that love you, and you disappoint people that do nothing but care about you. And the one person you care about is too selfish to care about you. So don't let love and despite and the feeling of being lonely get in the way of caring about your future. Because now I've lost a lot of things and a lot of people, and I regret it more than anything. I regret it more than losing him. And no matter how much I want to protect him, it's more important to protect yourself. You can only do so much. And if they're not willing to change for you, then you have to be willing to walk away. Because walking away in the end might save them. But they'll never change for you. They won't. And no matter how much they say they will, you have to be strong enough to say no. And I wasn't. And I've been pushed around, and I've been spit on, and I've been brought down to places I never wanted to be. This man that said he loved me and told me I was beautiful now made me feel ugly and disappointed in myself. So be strong. Be strong and walk away. Be strong and let him know that he doesn't control you. Because this boy that loves you so dearly has better and more important things in his life than you. So walk away. Walk away before it gets out of hand. Walk away before you feel like you've lost everyone and disappointed everyone. Leave. Let it be the end. And maybe one day, just maybe, you can look back and see that you helped someone. My name is Shelby Hayes. I'm 16 years old. I've ran away from my home twice. I've been abused multiple times. And I'm in love with someone who is more in love with himself and his drugs. And it's got me nowhere. And I want to speak out for the girls that don't have the control and the push to speak out for themselves. I want you to know that there's other people out there just like you. And let him go.